Hi, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Robert Lehman. I'm the Booking and Artistic Manager at the Cedar, and I just wanted to welcome you to this very, very special episode of the Cedar Public Access Channel. Today, we're going to be looking back at this year's Cedar Commissions. The Cedar Commissions is our annual commissioning program for 6 Minnesota-based artists or composers to receive funding to create 30 minutes of brand new music for the Cedar stage. The Cedar Commissions is partially funded by Jerome Foundation, partially funded by us, and artists receive funding as a part of this program. They receive support with promo and marketing, mentorship, and they're also part of this cohort of artists. Can rely on each other, ask each other questions. It's just a little community that develops as part of the program. This year, I had the honor of leading this program, and given COVID, we met virtually, and the artists wrote and rehearsed their pieces remotely, and then came to the Cedar and performed those final pieces for mostly an empty hall, save for the camera crew and the sound crew, and then a few close friends of each artist. The artists' incredible work culminated in a set of virtual performances and premieres that came out this last March, and we are excited to finally be able to share those with the larger public. In this program, you'll hear one song from each artist, as well as just a little bit of a snippet of an interview from their program. This is just to give you a taste of what each artist's piece is about, with the goal that you'd be able to check those out afterwards if there's one that you were interested in or multiple that you were interested in. You'll first hear classical composer AJ Isaacson-Zvidzwa and hear more about her triumphant journey with mental illness in a piece for string quartet and soprano. Then you'll hear from Beatriz Lima as she fuses Portuguese fado, folk music, with indie pop, reggaeton, hip hop. There's some alt rock in there too, a lot of different influences, but it all focuses on themes of machismo, love, and professional ambition. After that, Farrington Llewellyn opens up a door for conversations around mental health and trauma, and explores that with hip hop, R&B, and some really awesome visuals that go along with it. Tearra Oso explores historical storytelling and healing through Bomba, which is a traditional Afro-Puerto Rican style of music. She fuses that with R&B, pop, and hip hop. Next up, Hassan Shahid explores what it is to be a Black Muslim father in America, and really focuses on themes of vulnerability with his soulful acoustic guitar songwriting and singing. And finally, Sana dives into the Hmong language's relationship with LGBTQ folks, and they do this through hip hop and electronic dance music. I'm incredibly impressed with everything that the artists created this year, given everything that's been going on. They created these really beautiful, meaningful works of art. And I hope you enjoyed these little snippets, and I hope that, as I said before, they encourage you to check out the artists' full programs, maybe to follow these artists in the future. You'll find these full programs go live on our YouTube channel on April 9th, and they'll also be linked in the description on the YouTube video of this program. Now, before I go, the Cedar Public Access Channel, it's always free, but there's a suggested donation of $10. If you have the means and you're able to, please visit thecedar.org/donate to contribute. All right, that's it for me. Take care, and I hope you enjoy the show.
speak and whisper and shout to bring to life what it is like for me to have experience with hallucinations and, hearing voices and what it was like for me. Angels Sang to Me, the title came because of one of the quotes I'm using in my piece. It's Clara Schumann talking about her husband, Robert Schumann, and saying he woke up in the middle of the night hearing a voice and said he was writing down a melody that angels had sung to him. And that really just struck me as a great way to title it, is Angels Sang to Me. I think I went through about 1,500 poems before I landed on the 5 that I use. I think it's 5. But then for the quotations, there's a book by psychologist Kay Redfield Jamison called Touched with Fire, which is about the link between the manic depressive and the artistic temperament. And in that book, she looks at the ties between past artists and their mental health. And she brings quotes from these artists. And so that's where I got my quotations from. When people experience this work, what I hope is that it gives them better understanding of what it's like to live with mental illness. The piece starts off in, I think the word I use is foreboding, is how it starts. And it ends with an Emily Dickinson poem that goes, if I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. And so that's the entire message of this whole piece, is that my suffering is so I can spread awareness for those around me.
It's all up in the news like a waking alarm. We can no longer snooze. We can no longer snooze. Oh, when I leave, be a friend. Keep me company until the end. Meu bem, seremos jardineiros. Somos de mazinheira, somos companheiros. A viver numa casa isolada, onde crescemos comida em nossa alma. Escrevemos poesia que alimenta o espírito, versos revolucionários de sentido crítico, onde o papel não interessa, só a mensagem. E as crianças do futuro se orgulham de nossa imagem.
I decided to call it Tribuna because Tribuna is a deity from like the Iberic Peninsula, and a deity, a female deity that represents home and like wealth in terms of like comfort. And she's also the goddess of fertility. And so I thought, because there's this strong theme of like, you know, motherhood and the relationship with between a mother and a child, and also like this idea of like leaving home and then returning. I just thought it was suitable for peace. And also I refer to that deity in the last song. And yeah, it's like a journey story from about me leaving home and my relationship with my mom specifically. So I wrote the songs from like, it starts from like the perspective of my mom, I guess. And so I wrote the first 3 songs are from her perspective. And the first song is the birth of a child and then her hopes for that child. And then second song is a love / like despair song. And then the third song is about her mom, like the mom not wanting the child to leave. And I wanted it to be a commentary on, you know, me being like a foreigner and have left home because there's no jobs at home. So, and there's a lot of people my age who have left Portugal. And so I think it was a song that would like resonate with a lot of people. And yeah, so that the songs come in an order, and all of them like are sort of this journey. So the daughter leaves home and then she goes to America, and you know, she sees all these like up things that the United States does, and then it's also like it's sort of like a coming of age story, and you know, and then returning to her roots. So at the end, I wanted the song to be hopeful, like the final song. I wanted it to be hopeful, and yeah, and sort of like this coming back to home, and yeah, so it's a journey story.
Capitalism got me on racetrack. No amount of therapy can change that. I've been up so many days afraid to take a nap, and no amount of therapy can change that. Sometimes I wanna take my race back. No amount of therapy can change that. We seeing that the whole world hate black, and no amount of therapy can change the feels like we living in a right now. White people acting like they care like. Where was y'all when they shot Philando down? I already lost hope, let's just see who's still around. Is my life a trend like a dance? Black Lives Matter out in Germany and France. Even had a rally in Japan, I'm glad. But I can't help thinking about my grandma's hands. The system ain't new. Pipelines, the prison and the school. We need reparations, 40 acres and a mule. This is overdue, and Whitey's on the moon. If they let that killer loose, they gon' open up the zoo in this town. Burn the city down to the ground, that's karma. Looting ain't the problem, it's unresolved trauma. How we gonna solve it? Police get abolished, replaced by Janata and Grandmama. Don't mind me, I could die next week. Probably on your live feed, fight until we get free. Time to face the music, make your own conclusion. My paranoid delusions could really happen to me. Capitalism got me on racetrack. No amount of therapy can change that. I've been up so many days afraid to take a nap, and no amount of therapy can change that. Sometimes I wanna take my race back. No amount of therapy can change that. We seeing that the whole world hate black, and no amount of therapy can change the Will I die before the world get its act together? Will it take civil war to bring us back together? Being black means you under attack, that's fact. 600 for the stimulus check, what's that? Therapy won't solve the underlying problem. Society has gotta be all in, so we can't sit still. Lately I'm feeling like a hamster on a wheel, trying to chase a dollar bill. About to take these pills, throw them down the sink. They tell me see a shrink through a Zoom link. Year 2020 really got me on the brink. We don't know what's coming next, I'm afraid to blink. Speak, think, or reach out. So many L's, it's hard to keep count. But therapy's a means of letting it all out. So slouch over the couch, get help with your mental health. But seeing my community fight back, no amount of therapy could beat that. Seeing my community fight back, no amount of therapy could beat that. Capitalism got me on racetrack. No amount of therapy could change that. I've been up so many days afraid to take a nap, and no amount of therapy could change that. Sometimes I wanna take my race back. No amount of therapy could change that. We seeing that the whole world hate black, and no amount of therapy could change the facts. And no amount of therapy could change the facts.
I really want to inspire people, you know, who have a hard time showing up in the world, basically. You know, I mean, me, like, it's not always easy for me to show up in the world, you know, but I feel like to just, like, come on the stage, you know, and just, like, lay down on the stage and, you know, take the pressure off, you know, like somebody that is, like, experiencing debilitating, like, mental illness, depression, crippling depression. It's super hard for people that are struggling with these things to even imagine themselves out in public, you know. Like, I guess the main takeaway is that, you know, your mental health is more important than your productivity in this world. And that's kind of hard to believe, you know, when, you know, we live in a capitalist society, you know, we live in capitalism. But, like, if I can think about the message in my songs or even in the visuals and everything together, like, it's been that, you know, people need a break, you know, like, we need to put a pause on the world right now. But, you know, capitalism, it's not letting us do that. So a lot of people are gonna, like, suffer, you know. It's gonna be hard for a lot of people to show up in the world. It's like, not to be, like, totally bleak, y'all, but, like, it's really rough times right now. I know it's been a rough time for me. And I can only imagine for other people right now. Yeah.
So I move and shake and scream, anything to get it out of me.
Bomba has been such a game changer for me. I mean, when I was 7 is when I started, and I didn't want to be home. I had problems going on at home, and that, going to a place where we were able to focus on something together that was fun was amazing. But on top of that, being able to hone skills in drumming and dance and song was not just fun, but I've realized as a health and wellness facilitator as I've gotten older, when you do these movements, when you feel the vibrations of the drums, those things are actually breaking up tension and stress in your body. This is a way that you can heal trauma. So all of that on top of learning that my ancestors used to do this in Puerto Rico, they were enslaved, they were going through such horrific things that I can't even imagine. They used to do this as their solace and to be able to tell their stories. And we still know some of those stories because they did this. They didn't just tell someone, they made a song out of it, and it went to different towns and through different generations. So all those things are so beautiful and really just gave me amazing direction, powerful direction, and purpose. And that's why I was so inspired when I saw the grant through the Cedar. I was like, wow, I would love to do that. I would love to create my own music based on these powerful rhythms that I've already had in my body for so long. So yeah, Bomba is amazing, and I just want everybody to hear it and be able to experience it, and really to be able to do it in person again, because if we do it in person, everybody is invited to come dance. Everybody would be singing together. It's a call and response. So that feels good too, to be in community. Folks who watch the show, listen to the show, I really want people to feel moved. I want people to hear the stories, to remember things that have happened in our community, things that still hurt many of us to this day, but also know that this is a way that we can heal ourselves by talking about it, by singing it, playing it out, dancing together. Life can be so hard, and things have happened that are so sad, but we can come together and make ourselves feel better physically, and also strive to be better people and hope that other people can be better too.
The next song that I'm going to do will be my last song. It's going to be Focus on the Prize. And I think when I was writing these songs and just really trying to channel everything, because I wrote a lot in that grant. When I wrote the grant, it came from a really emotional place. Just a lot of frustrations with the things that I was seeing on that's in TV, things that has transpired in my life, and the things I see in my family's lives, and I see in my friends' lives, and I mean just Black people in general. And just people of color, and just anybody from any marginalized group. There's a lot of adversity, and it's so hard sometimes to be able to see the goal. So I wrote this song, Focus on the Prize, because for me, it was just about trying to stay focused on what the ultimate destination is. Yeah, this song is focused on the prize, so. Yeah. I'd rather be a dreamer than to never believe. Sometimes it's easier to close your eyes and let your mind be free. Seems like every screen wants to manipulate your thoughts and tell us how we should be. It's time we detach ourselves from these false ideas of reality. This song is for the ones who want a little more from life. Just having a hard time, feeling that their choices are leading them down the right path this time. You have to go live once or twice before you can make it right. Don't get lost when you are right now. Better days are in sight. We need to stop telling people to believe everything they read. If you can't see with your own eyes, it's probably better that you question things. Someone wants to know the truth, or others just want us to believe what they think. If it's not making sense to you, it's probably better that you question things. This song is for the ones who want a little more from life. Don't get lost where you are right now, and better days are in sight. Sometimes you have to go left once or twice before you can make it right. Don't get lost when you are right now. Better days are in sight. This song is for the ones who want a little more from life, and just having a hard time, feeling that their choices are leading them down the right path this time. You have to go live once or twice before you can make it right. Don't get lost where you are right now. Better days are in sight. I want individuals or anybody that listens to the music that I have the privilege to create or pull together. I think the biggest thing I just want them to is just be able to listen to the vulnerabilities in the music, listen to the messages that are inside some of the songs. I think I definitely, I think it's easily we can get distracted by the society, and our screens is so huge in this day and age. I feel like we forget to actually like take time to self and to find our own opinions and find our own truths. And it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to not know. It's okay to not have the answers and being okay with that, and finding peace with just like the process of being and just being vulnerable. Put time into the things that you love. Let it be your family, your things that you don't feel like you're competent in, that you're not fully good in. Just put a little bit more time into it. I mean, we have time to be on the screens for hours. Like disassociate yourself and put time into things that you're not good at. Because with the practice of failure, and I mean, me and Lance talk about this all the time. He's like, man, when we be messing up, people don't get all of the things that go in the background, like all the insecurities that are happening when I'm like on those strings and the fears that I have when I slur my words. But I know that it's coming from a raw place. And I think when you put time into things that you love and you're being vulnerable, like I was able to be vulnerable on that stage, and you're only gonna grow from it. You can only scrape your knee so many times before you stand up straight. So I would tell individuals and people just to like be passionate, be consistent, and go after and do things that you normally do, new things, because it was new to me. Like nobody told me to play the guitar. Nobody. My mom never put an instrument in my hand. I was like, I had interest, and just having the privilege to be here. So, yeah, this for the youth, the kids, definitely for the youth is like, just pursue new things and do things because you're passionate about them, because you never know where it'll take you.
So this next song is called Celebrate. But before we play, I just want to share that this song I wrote it for me, but I wrote it for folks who might relate to my story. It's about coming out to myself and to the world. I feel like as a queer trans person, I'm always going to be coming out to the world. I know it sounds kind of strange, but it's not strange anyway. So I just feel like being there for me is important, and that I continue to celebrate who I am, and that you continue to celebrate who you are too, because the world is cruel. It's cruel. So it's called Celebrate. And it's about self-love, self-empowerment, and I hope you like it. You were always here, like a friend in treasure myself. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to celebrate me.
You better.
I'm going to treasure myself. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to celebrate me. Together. I'm going to treasure myself. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to celebrate me. One more time. I'm going to treasure myself. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to celebrate me.
Hey,
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 you
you
are
are
beautiful.
full.
Hey,
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 you
you
are
are
beautiful.
full.
So my project is called Nowhere for Queer, and it's a music project about exploring and creating positive Hmong language for Hmong, queer, and trans folks. And yeah, and then creating, transforming that into like positive messages. And I really wanted to focus a lot about self-love, self-empowerment, and self-affirmation. So my project, I did a community forum. I realized it's not just my project. I realized it's the Hmong queer trans folks project too. I can't possibly create these positive language by myself, and I wanted to check in with my community and see where folks were at, and see how folks felt about this idea. And I had really good responses, and folks were actually, it's almost, they were interested, you know, because it's almost like it felt, through that process, it felt like we were kind of forgotten a little bit. And then, you know, when I brought the idea in, I think it got folks to start talking and thinking and being creative. Like, yeah, how do we humanize Hmong, queer, and trans folks? You know, like, how do we create something like that? You know, because we don't have language for it. You know, and so I think it's still. I feel like the Hmong language is still like a developing language, but also like you could be creative with it as well, you know. So I think the idea is to normalize it, you know, with this creation from the community. I want them to know that they're not alone, and that we are here, and that I know that sometimes it's hard, but don't give up. And I want them to feel inspired. I want them to feel that they can believe in themselves, they can love themselves, no matter through what adversity they face, and believe in themselves no matter what.